All right, we are live with the Livemasters showcase, and I'm so super excited to have an amazing, awesome guest, somebody that I've gotten to know over the last couple of years. And I think it's been a couple of years. The one and only Dr. Sophie Nubani, the queen of laughter and wisdom. Oh my gosh, this woman is amazing. You guys are in for a treat. If you don't know who she is, like I said, I'm tickled that you're going to get to meet this amazing woman tonight. She has a new book that's coming out, Optimize Your Mindset. And she's got the book right over her shoulder right there, Optimize Your Creative Mindset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Dr. Sophie Nubani introduce herself a little bit, but she's a best-selling author. She's a coach. She's a speaker. She's an NLP neuro-linguistic master coach. And like I said, she's a co-founder of a community on Facebook called the Laughter Mindset. She's just an amazing networker. I want to turn it over to you so you could explain yourself a little bit more while I share and invite people to take a look at this amazing broadcast. Sophie, take it away.
Blessings. And I hope everyone listening and joining us today or the replays catches this in the best of health and creative spirit. I'm Dr. Sophie Nubani. I'm a creatives interpersonal executive coach. And I'm also the author of Optimize Your Creative Mindset book series. Book 1 is out and ready, actually. It's actually available for all the readers. And I'm also an NLP master practitioner, TFT and EFT practitioner. I'm a Reiki master, Chios master teacher, Life Masters coach, as well as I have my DSD, which is Doctorate in Spiritual Development, and working on my transpersonal counseling PhD currently. So, a few things here and there. I'm a laughter yoga as well certified instructor and co-founder of the Laughter Mindset program, as well as the co-founder of the Meta Shift program along with Dr. Bob Choate, and Athena coaching program that's coming up. It's a spiritual development program as well. And I'm very happy to be sharing this airtime with the one and only Mike Chavez. I mean, this guy is incredible. I have to say, I witnessed your progress from the very early days of you starting on doing videos, and you keep adding a day and adding a day and adding a day. Can I ask, today is how many days?
Oh gosh, I don't know how to count that high. So
it's 1,000 some days.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this man is so committed.
I just throw the date out there. January 31st, 2017. Ever since that day, I've gone live.
Every single day. I mean, it's incredible. Yeah. And it is so nice and beautiful to be so surrounded by high achievers, committed leaders, and dedicated, mission-driven, higher thinkers. And it is really what makes the world brighter, more connected, more productive. And I am very happy to share this time with all of you as well. And thank you, Mike, for having me and introducing me to your community, which I'm part of, because I always see a lot of the work that you guys are doing. It is phenomenal. It is outstanding. And I'm so very proud to have been connected with you from early stage, to see how, when we are so dedicated, how the results show in many different ways. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really cool experience just doing these videos, and then networking and have an opportunity to connect with authors. I just shared before we went live that it's one of the coolest experiences to actually make a connection with somebody online, get to know them, and then have a book come out, and then you read that book, and then it's somebody that you actually know. And so I'm really excited to order your book. You're going to be a guest on my show for sure. I'm going to read your book. I haven't read it yet. I'm excited to read it. But I just kind of want to.
Yeah, it's a big read, Mike. It's 427 pages. Okay.
Wow.
So, the nice thing about it, though, is every chapter is individually independent. So you can literally pick any chapter and read it separately, depending on the table of content and what you feel most drawn on. The only recommendation I have is that you read chapter 1 From there, you can pick any of the chapters, because chapter 1 is based on thinking styles. And so it helps you to really go on the foundation of the creative thinking and also understand your creative level. And then from there, it's open. It's very easy to pick and choose.
Awesome. So you mentioned that this is going to be a series, and this is the first book. Uh, and you
Yes.
this is over 400 pages. This first book. What does the rest of the series look like? Because that's quite a bit of information in one book. What does the rest of the series look like, and what are your plans for the future with your book series?
Well, Mike, the original plan was really one book that went over many pages, that it had to be divided into a series. So the next book is going to be about 350, and the following as well. It's just, you remember, for us to really have any change of our neurotransmitters in our brain, for new patterns and habits to be created, there has to be a formula, process, tools that going to help you and aid you through the process. So therefore, it's something that, it's like a toolbox. You have it, you go back and pick what works and what can help you most. And it's going to give you a foundation. So you are more grounded, and you are more tapping and fostering your creative potential. And so more or less, each series is a little bit different. So this is, unleashing the power of your imagination, that gets a lot into a metacognition, as well as igniting innovation, creativity leading to innovation. So in Amazon bestseller, what it got in the ratings, categories of creativity and cognitive psychology, because there's a lot of areas where I bring out on the mindset, the brain, and the function of cognitive awareness and meta awareness, metacognition, and so forth. So it's going to be, interesting, because each book has a different flavor. And also, in book 1, I do have amazing 14 contributors that are really, really very extremely successful, that share their backstories. And some of them have stories that have never been mentioned ever, even on their own podcast. I was surprised. I literally was reading some, and I was like, oh my God, these are people that I know of or heard of or read about, but then I've never read that one particular information. So it's such an honor and a blessing to be able to have that, because it is part of the tools. And every time we are able to expand our association cortex by information that we are gathering, we are able to connect dots and principles and concepts better, which allows us to create new things. And that is one of the tools that you're going to be able to tap into. And people who actually have it is also those people's backstories, but and the lessons that they had
Mhm.
shared from their experiences, which is, I believe, was phenomenal, alongside with creative storytelling, with
Yeah.
very much detail of the success of the delivery and how to really bring that out. Creative mindset versus destructive mindsets, different types of mindsets, including, a champion's mindset, a winner's mindset, then a jealousy mindset, an envy mindset, and then all of them, then selecting the two most that are going to promote and help your creative mindset, and so
Mhm.
forth. So there's a many different things, including the acronym courage, and each trait that is really important in a creative thinker, that will have creativity leading to innovation, with many stories as well as evidence, facts, and strategies. Because we can just talk about a story, but then you want to know the how to. How do I do this? I heard your story, but I don't know how to do it. So it's going to give you also tools on the how to part in many areas in the book as well. And so it's very diversified. I would say there is also a global new concept that has not been out there. It's literally new in the book, and it's called the Circle of Creative Masters. And it's really, really interesting, for how you can really conduct meetings similar to masterminds, but it's really focused on creativity. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really geared for organizations and communities and businesses, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs who are seeking to have that circle of creative masters, and how it is best conducted with its best outcome for success. So that's a new concept. It's a brand new concept. It's not even out there. So that was something also in optimize your creative mindset, as well as the yin and yang vision action board that is very new to a flavor that is added, that is not out there on any vision board concept yet. So they will have two new concepts altogether. And in the bonus chapter, there are many, up to 9 creative techniques that you can have immediately with the how to right there from the book, which I think is very helpful. And it was my gift to the readers as well, because I really believe that the more you can understand yourself and your learning delivery system, you are going to be more productive and more creative. And therefore, I didn't want to lock it into just one of the formulas like Scrabble or just mind mapping or just this. I wanted to give different diversified options for people to really resonate with what really aligns with them, that is easier for them to pick and use, but that's something that they can count on regularly as they are continuing to grow, plan, and create as well. So that's a little summary, of what to expect in the book.
Wow, that's a lot of information, but it's really cool how you really pick apart the science and the behavior of of people. So listen, if you could share something real quick that the people that are watching live, or if they watch us in the replay, what's an exercise or an activity that somebody could do today to get closer to their goals? Something that you always would tell your clients, like something that they could do on it, something daily, something small, something easy.
You have to attach your goal to an emotion. And this emotion has to really be very, very pure, organic, and authentic to you. Not to what your mom wants you to do, your friend wants from you, or your neighborhood, but something that really resonates within you. And then you can do it because you love serving those other things. You want to make these people proud and happy. That's fine. But it has to be intrinsic motivation to begin with. And personally, I really work well with my vision board. I have a dream board for my 10-year goals. The vision board I have for a year. Sometimes I do 6 months, depending on if I have a short-term goal that I need to accomplish within a short period of time. I connect energetically with them twice a day. Usually, I do it in the morning and before I go to bed, so that it's in my mind and it's in my focus and my attention as a priority to keep me on track and into my mission. And so when there is distractions, things do happen. Emergencies happen. We are in a pandemic, so many things could really happen. But to stay course, you need positive discipline. Positive discipline requires no distractions whatsoever. You got to be like really black and white on it, but able to be flexible and adaptable in case that things are beyond your control do happen, that you're able to work yourself with it. But you would have to really do like time blocks. For example, putting time blocks like Elon Musk, Richard Branson, they talk about that literally of how they manage their time, and they have a lot of businesses to handle at the same time. And that's very important trait for anyone who's trying to stay on course for their goal, is prioritizing their attention and where it is going, regulating their emotions, because we get so connected emotionally and vibrationally to things. And if we are going to have that override our actions, normally it's not going to lead us to completion to our goals. We can be like the dreamers, the people who wish they could do this, but in action, to have things in a complete cycle, there has to be positive discipline. And I really encourage positive discipline a lot. And the reason I use positive before discipline, because you could be disciplined on something that is not serving you well.
Right,
And
definitely.
therefore, Yeah, so positive discipline would be something that I really encourage to get you closer to your goals. Be clear on what it is that you want and vibrationally connect to it daily. Whether you're writing it down, I use vision boards, you can write it down as well. And because you see, when you have ideas in the brain, it's not designed to process things. For you to process things, it has to be in writing, and that's how your brain can allow you to process it. So that's why also you might read a lot of things, you might know a lot of things, but if you don't write things down, eventually some of those things might fly off your brain. In
Oh yeah.
on average, I'm not talking about everybody who has a photographic memory and amazing sharp, but that's very slow percentage in our whole world. We're
Well,
talking
there's
about the general people, and
yeah.
those would be tools that would help.
Well, there's something that's connected to your mind and when you write and all that stuff too. But you were talking about like controlling your emotions and manifesting, and I always think about you obviously you have to know what your current reality is to be seen,
Absolutely.
right? But then I think the true growth happens when you can separate and focus more on your desired reality of what you truly want, and then more of what you want is because it's I love how our brains are wired. We can only consciously think about one thing at a time regardless of what our subconscious mind is doing. And once we, like you say, with the repetitive and reading and really digging in and connecting those new neurotransmitters, that's when the growth happens literally in your brain, right?
Amen to that. Absolutely. And we have to always, earlier today I was on a mastermind panel, and they were talking about, being positive is not enough for today. People are
Mm-mm.
going through a lot and they can't just take that positivity, but you have to be, like in what is your current reality. And that is very true, because you can be optimistic and positive, but you got to be realistic alongside to be able to solve a problem or a challenge. We can't just go on dream zone of what the end result is. We can create the process for the end result, but without really measurement and feedback of our current reality, there is no progress. And therefore, it is very important for us to know that, so we can build smart goals and realistic goals that are going to be not impossible to achieve. And I'm not discounting, putting the intention and dreaming big. I think it's beautiful and it's great.
Yeah.
And when you keep focusing on your dreams, it's beautiful, but there has to be action towards that. This
Mhm.
action baby steps require you to go from where you're now here towards that, and that will require a logic and rational, and it has to be weighed differently than just only on a dream. Maybe lucky people once in a while can win a lotto or can have a big inheritance, but without the
I did
execution
like
of it.
I didn't know what I was doing when I started doing videos. I just started doing them because I knew that there there was just some I knew there was this my gut. God was just telling me the universe. Now as my awareness, it's all about your awareness. And I believe that you're progressing every day in every way. But how are you progressing? Are you progressing in a, like you said, toward your goals? Or, because I believe we're either growing or we're decaying. So there's something's
It's
happening,
progress or regressing,
right?
regressing or progressing.
Right,
Absolutely.
exactly. There's always something to do with the energy that you're given, right? And
Absolutely.
you got to protect that energy and surround yourself with people who give your energy instead of take it away. I think that's another secret to life for sure.
It definitely charges you, and it is very wise to be surrounded with those people who really encourage your growth and progress, not depleted, because we have to be very mindful of that. It is needs focus, needs energy, and when you need focus and energy, you can't be surrounded by people who constantly pull off it and deplete it, because then you won't be able to really serve your purpose. It will
Mm.
be very exhausting, and then in the end, people get sick, tired, depressed, and they'll have anxiety and high blood pressure and everything else that comes with those kind of environments.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're not living the oh, did we lose her? Did we lose her? Are you back? Are you now you're frozen?
Yes.
Wow, that was a cool little
Am
magic
I
trick.
frozen?
No, you're not frozen anymore. No, you're not frozen anymore.
I'm
Yeah,
Elsa. I'm frozen.
yeah. Well, I think what you were saying earlier too is attach everything to an emotion. And if you've ever done anything, you've ever accomplished anything in your life, we all have. We've all done something we didn't. I think we've all done something that at one point we didn't think that we were able to do, and we did it, or we got through something that we didn't think. And in that moment when we did it, we're like, wow, we realize that we can do it. So I think I put myself back in a lot of wins, those small wins. They add up. You can't forget those.
Talking about that,
Yeah.
in NLP, there is something called the circle of excellence. And I love this exercise. And I can share some here just to give you an idea. It's
Yeah.
done best with someone, but you can kind of catch on to what this is going for. So you create an imaginary circle, right? And you stand outside of it. And then in your mind's eye, once you step into your circle, which is called your circle of excellence, you bring in moments of time that you are so proud of, an accomplishment, achievement, or something that, or a goal you completed, and then you visualize that in your circle of excellence. And then you add sound to that. You add whether your favorite music, song, words, anything empowering, affirmations into that. And then you start also adding color into that. So you are bathed with maybe the color green, yellow, blue, and you visualize this light around your circle of excellence. And it's something like symbolically you can go tap into as a tool in your subconscious mind. So
Mhm.
when you are dealing with something that is disempowering, you can go into that tool and grab it and
Mhm.
remind yourself symbolically with visualization, imagination, and a reminder of something you already experienced will automatically put you and shift your mood and your self-esteem and confidence immediately. And the reason I mentioned this is you mentioned about the little wins along the way that you have accomplished. And those are things like you would want to put into your circle of excellence as a tool. And we don't know what happens in life or somebody else that's going through something that you might need that extra fuel and charge so you can be better for them and yourself or your service and business. So
Mhm.
that's a cool thing that NLP has. You guys can check it out. It's called the Circle of Excellence in an NLP exercise.
Yeah, I love NLP. The first time that I was introduced to NLP was probably about 10 years ago. I went to this conference, this entrepreneur conference, and I had no idea what NLP was. And they did a timeline exercise where we
Love it.
they took us back to our very first negative memory in our life. It was like really crazy, and it's pretty powerful stuff. I mean, I never forgot it. And as I started along my personal development journey, I learned more about NLP, and it's so powerful. Um, you know, all the different exercises and what you've learned, and that kind of leads me to my next question. We'll just spend a few more minutes with you tonight, and I respect your time. I know it's getting late there on the East Coast for 9 o'clock, but um,
Yes.
what? So you're an author. You have you all this extensive knowledge and that you've learned over the years and working with people. What is the biggest misconception that people have about you and what it is that you do? Like, what do you think the biggest misconception that people have about what it is that you do?
Misconception. You mean like they're reading it wrong, kind
Yeah,
of?
yeah.
I am a very extroverted introvert, so a lot of people would have never guessed that about me. I do need a lot of a alone time, and that is because I really spend a lot of time in research, study, and developing things. And for me to be able to produce that, I really need that space in blocks of time. And when people see me, because I'm known as the queen of laughter and wisdom, and I am a co-founder of a laughter mindset. But the part of it is, it's not about just laughter, it's about growth and it's about personal development. It's about coaching, transformation, making people transition and transform and then transcend is the steps that I work with. And a lot of people are not aware maybe of that as a and in the back end of what I really do when I'm working with clients. So that could be a misconception.
Wow, that's really really cool. So what's now you have a couple communities that on Facebook, right? Can you
Correct.
give them a shout out and mention
Yes.
mention one of your mentors, Bob, because he's amazing, and maybe you could share a nugget from Bob that it's just one of those things that you think that you should pay forward to others. Go ahead and tell people about your communities.
Sure. So I'm both admins on Wisdom Cafe and Optimize Your Creative Mindset, as well as the Laughter Mindset, as well as Foreclosures Only and Winnerism groups. Okay. But definitely shout out to Dr. Bob Choate, which is known as the Grand Transformational Master. And he's transformational grandmaster. He's one of the things that I really learned from Dr. Bob, actually. He's the one who brought to my awareness about time blocks.
Mm.
And because he's so committed to time blocking his schedule, that I learned through the process, because we're business partners. You call somebody and they're on a time block time, or you're sending an email, you wait. But then when you understand the system of time block, and it starts becoming really useful, beneficial, and very productive to your daily endeavors. So one of the great things also I learned is the 80-20 rule, and how to be able to, like, focus your attention on exactly what you want to be productive with. Also the burners, he always tells me, you only have 4 burners, that you can't do everything all the time, because something's going to burn out. So focus on the 2 main things that you really want to accomplish the most at the time, for the period that your goal is set for. So those were things that I learned actually through the coaching program I took with Dr. Bob through Mind Hack Academy. Prior to going and transitioning full time into my career, he was my original mentor, and the program, Peak Performance program, that I took with him was really very helpful, and it's really made a lot of progress into my personal life. So shout out to Dr. Bob on that, definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure he's really, really proud of you. He's a great guy. I've seen a lot of the things that he's done over the years. He's wow. He seems really quiet and reserved, but he's so powerful. He's one of those gentlemen that he's very wise with his words, and he knows what he's doing. He's amazing. So definitely check him out. We'll put all the information here in the comments, and we're gonna make a nice, like I said, a nice description at the top here, so people can access the link for your book on Amazon if they want to get it. We'll make sure we put it up in the title, and then you can share the links to your groups in the comments here after we're done with the broadcast if you'd like.
Blessings. Awesome. That is awesome. And I really am so happy to have connected with you and your community. I keep watching a lot of your shows, and a lot of the questions you post, the question of the day. And I think that's really cool, because it's always a very engaging community. And I see all the people and their engagement. It's really bringing a lot of wisdom and growth to the community. So I really respect that. I love encouraging people who really put effort and dedication from the heart for growth and commitment to all of humanity. Because when you do good, 20 other people are doing good because one person, and so forth. So we're all one big human family here. And thank you again for this beautiful airtime that we're spending together.
It was a blessing to have you here. Thank you so much for your time. And if anybody wants more information about the community, Dr. Sophie was talking about, it's called Livemasters. It's a community started a couple of years ago. Monday through Friday, we ask a question a day. They're business development and personal development questions. And quite frankly, they're questions on things that I'm just really thinking about. They're authentic questions that I really have about life. I ask them in this closed group, and then people who are interested in growing their personal development and business development and their network online and meeting amazing people like Sophie, Livemasters is a great place. So with that being said, thank you for being our guest. Thank you for everybody that came on this live video. God bless each and every single one of you. Take care, you guys, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.